What's up, guys? Flippin' Steve here into 3, 0, 2. Today I want to talk about what happens after you execute your plan. What happens when you reach your end game? Where do you find a new start? Where do you find a new beginning? Especially when you're in and out of market windows and certain windows start to close and you're looking for the next opportunity. I'll be discussing this as it pertains to me and what I do, not necessarily what others do or what you should do.
But first, quick breakfast. Got these egg bites. You just throw them in the microwave. Quick and easy when you don't feel like cooking anything, and healthy. No link, not affiliated.
Oh, I know, it's already, what time? 2 p.m. and I forgot to give you your food. Typically for me, I like to speculate on my football cards early, which I have done, and a lot of those have already been sold. The Kyler Murrays are gone except for one. The Saquon Barkleys have moved, doing well with those. The Sam Darnold's finally wrapped up after a year, and the Justin Fields stuff is actually getting some hype after the move to Pittsburgh. So I say to myself, do I stab at another young NFL player going into the season, post-draft, preseason? That's actually a thought. Is there somebody out there that fits the bill for me? Or do I pivot away from the risky prospecting and look for some safer cards, especially when there's the opportunity to buy raw and grade for cards, again, that you're going to go back and start targeting collectors with?
They don't get no more real than this.
There is a mouse in the mousetrap, and literally that's what that is. It is a trap. It does not kill the mouse, it just traps it. And then my wife
will like take it across the street or out in the field and release it because she doesn't believe in killing anything in nature. And then they'll move right back into the house and we'll catch them again the next day.
I'm expecting quite a few packages in the mail today.
We have got a mother load,
which will allow me to show you guys some of the cards I'm starting to pivot into.
Already having this sweet 96 gold refractor Troy Aikman in a PSA 8. These old refractors look amazing.
This card was actually posted on Instagram a couple days ago, so if you want to see the cards before they're in the videos, make sure you go follow me, flipping_Steve. And those who wanted to hate because I was cracking an SGC slab the other day, I was indirectly called greedy the other day because I was cracking a slab out. How many other content creators will be giving away a free trip to the National for the 4th year in a row? I think we have to redefine the word free because someone has to pay for it. I will also be cracking this PSA slab to get a second opinion. One thing that I typically will not do when I'm looking to build inventory, whether that's for a quick flip or long term, and that's going to be a different definition for everyone. Some people think holding a card for 1 week is long term. Some people it could be 6 months. Quick flips could be days. They could be weeks. They could be months. That's going to apply to the individual. But I will not play the seasons. And what I mean by playing the seasons is I will not buy football cards come football season. I will not buy baseball cards or basketball cards during their respectful seasons. Too often I hear people say, you gotta buy what's in season and then resell it once they get hot. In fact, I heard that on a live stream the other night. One person asked another, what's your plan now that the football season is over? Are you gonna start buying basketball? My answer for me for that is absolutely not. When I buy my football cards, I tend to buy them in late December, January, and February of the following year. So this year would have been December 2023, January, February 2024, and I'm hoping to sell by March and April, which you guys have seen from my experiences. That's what I do. If a majority of people have the same mindset, then it's going to cause demand to rise on a player or in a market, and you already want to be holding those cards. I talked about this in a past video, so I don't want to sound like I'm beating a dead horse.
Artex, you're sinking! Come on, get around!
It's very important that you get out ahead of the majority. And if that means buying cards earlier and having to hold on to them for a longer period of time. A lot of times I believe that's what deters people from buying early. They just don't want to hold as long and have their assets or their money tied up into an item if they feel like it's going to take them a little bit longer to turn that item for profit. So for myself, I will not buy cards as the season approaches or big events within that sport approaches, such as an NFL draft. I'm usually selling by then. I buy my cards very early. I usually have them before the market shifts. That's my plan. What is my plan once that happens? I will sometimes take another stab at another young NFL quarterback if I'm talking football, but the prices have to be absolutely dirt cheap.
Pay no attention to the green Desmond Ridder out of 5. Just a dirt cheap pickup, actually.
It would take almost nothing but fresh air to make the cards see a little bit of a spike in value. You saw me do that with Sam Darnold last year. Now, because I don't dabble in many other sports besides football, once my football plans are finished, what is my plan of action afterwards? For me, it's going to go back to finding cards that aren't prospects, that aren't speculative, but are collectible.
Of course, Emmitt Smith, one of the GOATs.
That's an easy call right there.
That I would prefer to be in raw card form in gradable condition.
I've definitely been buying a lot of raw cards.
One of the better things I like to do is to look for cards that aren't even often graded. That way you don't have the graded card competition or slab competition. I will start to look towards more pop culture cards again. Haven't done much of that to start this year. That will be one area to where I start to pivot.
A table full of random stuff, but here we got some pickups. Actually, the Tony Hawk is on eBay right now, ends at auction on Sunday. The blue refractor out of 50. A Tony Stewart rookie autograph. Not many of those you'll ever find graded. These I bought for $3 a piece. I bought all of them off ComC. I graded a bunch of them with SGC. They graded like 4s and 6s. I sold them all for $40. So I was into them for 18 bucks and sold them all for 40 plus each. These will go to PSA and maybe I'll be able to get even more for them. Another Cleveland autograph, The Voice, Mike Henry from the Family Guy, super popular show. Picked one of these up for, I believe it was 20 bucks, graded with SGC for 15, and then sold it in Atlanta for 85. You do the numbers on the profit there, and just grabbed another one of these for 20. And this is my second Regis, Philbin, Allen, and Ginter on card, legit autograph right here.
Because those cards are sought after by collectors. And often collectors would like to just go ahead and buy them already graded and not have to do the work. One thing I'm starting to focus on now is nice parallel cards from the 90s and inserts of your Hall of Fame players.
Emmitt Smith pickup, this time the Platinum Portraits. If I could get a solid grade on this, should do well with it.
This isn't something that's new. A lot of people have done this. You've heard the craze, the 90s inserts. But finding them in good condition and getting them graded, sometimes you do have to put out a little bit of money, but they are high-end collectible cards that people with nostalgia are chasing down. It doesn't always have to be your top-notch players.
Got a Kurt Warner gold refractor here.
It can be really good cards of players that were just good, but have a strong fan base, they're in a good market, or they're just highly collectible, regardless of how good they were on the field.
Gold refractor, the A-Train.
I know that sounds strange, but social media does a weird thing where the younger generation can go back and watch highlight clips of some of the greatest players to ever play, and it brings attention to them. Also starting to look for popular defensive players.
Warren Sapp on the gold finest refractor out of 100.
I know people say defensive players don't hold value, but they do have collectability, which means if they're not holding much value, you can get them cheap and you can get them graded, and there will be people that like to collect them, because there's amazing defensive players and people like to collect players from their favorite team. I just picked up 2 Chris Jones Archetype case hits. Multiple-time Super Bowl champion with the Chiefs, re-signed a new contract. He's going to be a Kansas City favorite for a long time to come. And the best part about it is he doesn't have many cards when it comes to rarity and such. He does have autographs, he does have parallels, but the case hits are very limited. Some of these players just don't make a lot of the checklist. So when you can find cards of theirs that are worth grading to sell to a collector, you can often get them at a really good deal. And when you find the right buyer, it can be highly profitable. Decided to step out and come on down to Dewey Beach, Delaware, not too far from where I live. And why is that, you may ask?
Because the dingus needs to run.
I'll jump up here and do about 100 pull-ups. And there's not a person in the card content creation space that can beat me one-on-one on that basketball hoop over there. Did you see those? This thing's called mole crabs here in the 302. They dig down in the sand. This one just washed up. I need to help it back in. Arrived home to another package, and I know what this is.
It's the Crazy Daisy Color Blast stickers. Will be the first thing I've ever sold here on the channel. These will be going up for $4 and the proceeds will be going towards the national giveaway. So think of it sort of like a small donation towards a national giveaway, and you'll be getting a Crazy Daisy sticker in return.
I'm only able to move these on Instagram right now, so follow me, flipping_Steve, and instant message me if you have any interest in one of these. One plan of attack that I do plan on keeping is looking for slabbed cards that I believe are crackout candidates that I can resubmit, preferably to PSA, just to get a boost in value, not necessarily a bump in grade. That just means I'd be looking for SGC 9s, BGS 9s, that I can just cross to PSA 9s. I will also be looking for like PSA 8s.
This Aikman Gold Refractor is now out of that PSA 8 slab, and I've looked over it. I would not be shocked if this thing actually graded out a 10.
That I feel like I can get at a really good discount to maybe bump to PSA 9s with a second opinion. That is by far and away the riskiest avenue to take when you're looking to profit off of cards besides prospecting. The only way I will continue to prospect on younger quarterbacks is if I find absolute steals on nice raw cards.
Ultra modern here to evaluate, starting with the Anthony Richardson plates and patches graffiti out of 5. This is just a very slick looking card.
Give me the chance to add value to them through grading as opposed to performance or even any kind of hype or news. And it'll typically be more recent quarterbacks like Stroud, Richardson, and Young.
Moving on to the Bryce Young ultraviolet case hit out of Spectra. Spectra makes some really underrated, awesome looking case hits.
Those guys will be super popular come July, regardless of any kind of news around them. So the only way to really add value to their cards is to find nice raw cards and get them slabbed yourself. As you can see, there's many different methods, many different ways to attack, the way that you want to flip cards, what you want to buy, what you want to sell, how you want to do it. And I'm just giving you guys some examples of what I'm going to be doing moving forward now that I feel like a lot of my NFL windows have closed. Another thing, just since I've posted the Crazy Daisy stickers on Instagram that I just advertised in this video, I've already sold over 10 and I only had 100 of them printed. That just goes to show what absolute monsters the people are that support my channel. You viewers, you guys are just beasts. And I'm just going to leave it on that. I'm going to wrap the video on that note. In fact, I got to start planning to ship the Crazy Daisy stickers. So if you want yours, don't wait. And I'm not just saying that because I have a strong feeling that as awesome as you guys are, that they're probably going to sell out. Hit that little like, hit that little subscribe if you want, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care of yourself.